Hello guys, my name is Spinosaurus the King. I'm here to announce my petition, and this petition is to call out to all the true Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus fans who want to see the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus return in a future Jurassic World live action movie or even future TV shows, because we've been wanting to see the Spinosaurus return for a long time now, and it wasn't in Chaos Theory, and it appears that it's probably not going to be in Rebirth. But even as we want to see the Spinosaurus return, a huge shout out to my friend Steven. The link to his channel will be in the description below. But yeah, anyone who wants the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus to come back the correct way, 18.2 meters long, and is by far the biggest and strongest, tallest and heaviest land carnivore and the best fighter as well in the Jurassic World franchise, then make sure to check out the link to my petition on change.org. The link will be in this video, and it'll also be attached to my YouTube channel. It will be attached to my Instagram, and also it will be attached to my Patreon, so make sure you go check it out and sign the petition. It's free to sign. So again, if you're a true Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus fan like me, Steven, and all my other good friends like David Church and everyone else, then definitely check out this link, because again, we're hoping that this petition can call out to the filmmakers of Jurassic World so they can listen to us and bring back the Spinosaurus the proper way, the proper size, and this time with the correct Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus roars, and obviously bringing him back in live action rather than a kid's show. And just bringing him back in a badass way, because again, we've been asking for him to come back, and it just seems that he's not going to come back, which is why I created this petition. But I'm really hoping that this petition will be able to bring back the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus if we can get enough people to sign the petition and get a hold of someone like Colin Trevorrow, Steven Spielberg, or Gareth Edwards. Once again, calling out to all the true Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus fans out there. Hey guys, how's it going? Spinosaurus the King here, and before I get started with this video, if you're enjoying my content on YouTube, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you're alerted for my next video on YouTube. Leave a like and share this video with everyone and post a friendly comment. Also, check out my Patreon for amazing deals I'm offering you guys, so you can not only support me, but so you can get extra content. Each tier has a list of all the benefits you will get from each tier. I hope you guys can join one of my tiers. The link to my Patreon is in the description below, and follow me on Instagram as well for extra content there. And if you wish to support me even further, my PayPal donation link is in the description below. All donations are highly appreciated by me, and if you want to buy STK merchandise, the link to my Teespring is also in the description below. So if you want cool STK merch, including hats, pants, shoes, water bottles, workout and sport equipment, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweaters, stickers, necklaces, mugs, glasses, tank tops, bags, desk mats, and possibly more options in the future, then be sure to check out my store for epic STK merchandise. Any merch bought from you guys will be highly appreciated by me. So in this video, I'm going to be joined by a special guest. Go ahead, brother. Introduce yourself.
Hey folks, David Church here once again, and today we've got something big to talk about, don't we, brother?
Hell yeah. So today we're going to be doing our spoiler review for Jurassic World Rebirth, the moment that we've all been waiting for. So again, if you've not seen Jurassic World Rebirth and you don't want any spoilers, then do not watch this video. Go watch Jurassic World Rebirth first and then come back to the spoiler review. But for now, if you want to go check out our spoiler-free review, that's the link for that will be in the description below. Go check out that one if you haven't seen the movie. But if you've already seen the movie, then yeah, go ahead and watch this video, and then you can get our opinions on the movie.
Yep, exactly.
For sure. Anyways, brother, since you're the guest and you're my broski for life, go ahead and tell us, what you thought of Jurassic World Rebirth with spoilers involved.
All right, like I said in my spoiler-free review, I definitely give this a 3 out of 5. I mean, it's still a fun, nostalgic trip in the like it feels more like a Jurassic Park movie than a World movie. But here's the thing: the dinosaurs were the biggest disappointment for me, because some of these dinosaurs, they're only on screen. Like, certain species are only on screen for not even 5-10 seconds.
I know, right? Like, that part definitely is a big disappointment. For me, I'm gonna break it down to parts of my disappointments and likes. So, um, to start off, I'm gonna start off with the positives I had about this movie. So the positives were the CGI effects, the music, the new cast, the plot, um, and what else? The new company Park Agendas. All those were cool, and every dinosaur that did appear, they all have great designs and a great CGI effect and size, basically.
I agree.
Besides, yeah, minus the Spinosaurus. The other positives is that it is great to finally see, a new island again that's not Isla Nublar. And again, we haven't seen a movie that was dedicated to an island since Jurassic Park 3, to be honest. Like, sure, there was Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, but that was more towards, like, the theme park. This is like, an island in live action that we haven't seen like a wild dinosaur island in live action movie since Jurassic Park 3. So I think that part was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah. Um, Again, there was dinosaurs that did appear in this movie that were not in the trailers, and that includes some type of salamander. There was a
Oh
Dunkleosteus.
yeah, that was a. I was not expecting
Neither
that.
was I. Neither was I. There was a Triceratops. There was some bat-like creature.
Oh yeah, the Arognathus, I think is how it's pronounced.
Yeah, Rognathus. There's Ramphorhynchus. There was what else? Ankylosaurus. What else was not in the trailers that appeared in the movie? Um, hmm. I
Oh,
think there was a couple others. Oh,
Apatosaurus.
yep, Apatosaurus was there too. I think there. Oh yeah, there's no, Parasaurolophus was already in the trailers. I'm trying to think what else there was though.
I think as far as ones that were versus weren't in the trailers, that's it.
True, true. Yeah, I think we covered most. I might have missed maybe one or two max, but oh yeah, um, I think to be honest, I think Velociraptor was not in the trailer too, because like I know in the first trailer people were thinking that was those were raptors, but again we didn't see that specific scene in the movie, so maybe those were possibly mutodons or deleted raptor scenes. So technically the Velociraptors were not in the trailers, to be honest.
Yeah, looking back, I think that really was a muted. That was the mutodon.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. So, like, if we think about this logically, the Velociraptors was a dinosaur that was not in the trailers that appeared in the movies. So there's Velociraptors, and there was I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and the salamander thing. But yeah, those were basically all the dinosaurs that appeared that were not in the trailer. Um, Now, for fights, there was only one dinosaur fight in this movie. It was just the Mudon versus Velociraptor. Again, that was a cool fight, but I don't know why that
Very
was the
short.
only fight. It was too short for as well, yeah. And what else? Now, again, for disappointments, let's go ahead. So, Spinosaurus and T-Rex literally only have one scene, and that also goes for the Mosasaurus and Quetzalcoatlus, only one scene. And then D-Rex has two scenes. It's in the final scene and then the flashback. That's it. The only dinosaur that had multiple scenes, I think, was just the Mutodon. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, from what I had heard, apparently there was gonna be one more scene with the Velociraptors, like at that gas station, but like they were 100% completely replaced by
Uh,
the Mutodon.
well, that's a bummer. I'm trying to think what else was there. I think the only dinosaurs or like slash species that had more than one scene was only the Mutodon, the salamander, and I think, man, I think that's it. Like, bro, like,
The
literally every
Mosasaurus.
monsters have more than one scene.
Yeah, remember because the Mosasaurus attacked the Delgados on their boat, and then later on it appeared attacking like the other character's boat.
Yeah, so I mean, technically you can count this as two scene, but the only reason why I count this like kind of the same scene because it's still in the same environment, if you know what I mean, right? But yeah, technically it's two scenes.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but yeah, basically everything only had one or kind of two scenes. So it's like holy crap! I didn't expect that. That's so disappointing. I was thinking these things would get multiple scenes, you know.
Right?
And again, the D Rex was handled, even worse than the Giga. The only part the Giga was handled, like the Giga was handled better, is that at least it got to fight a dinosaur in a final battle. But the D Rex literally did nothing. There's only one scene to attack the humans, and then break the helicopter. That was it, you know.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, like I was expecting the D-Rex to be like an actual villain. It's going to be chasing throughout the island of the whole movie. It was going to have an epic final battle with something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Apparently, like in the movie, right before they meet the Titanosaurus herd, I think it was Henry Loomis who had mentioned like the Titanosaurus having predators. So I was thinking, like, what if after they get the DNA from the Titanosaurus, they see a Titanosaurus carcass, and they're like, "What the heck did this?" And that
True,
would
true.
have been a perfect like foreshadowing to the
For
D-Rex.
sure. Now, my other massive problem with this movie is that it appears to be retconning the whole franchise. The only parts that feel canon to the franchise is when they mention Jurassic Park, or when we see the exact same Apatosaurus from Jurassic World Dominion, and when they say, after the events of Dominion, dinosaurs were struggling to survive on human climates, so they had to move to the equator, which is near the center of the Earth, where the climate there is the same climate as it was 65 million years ago. So all that I like, and it made sense because I would see that happening with dinosaurs in a modern world. I don't think they'll be able to adapt to our climate, to be honest. So that all I liked. It made a lot of sense. But the part that pisses me off is that they retcon a bunch of dinosaurs and they don't explain why the new Spinosaurus looks different. They don't. There's no flashbacks in the movie to the other movies as well.
I think after the Spinosaurus boat attack and everyone's on the beach, I think there is something of an explanation because Zora and Martin are talking about like variations and different versions of things.
True, true. So I guess it's kind of hinted at, but like I was hoping that they would explain, like
Further, right?
like mention the other sponsors and stuff.
Right, like explain further.
True, true.
Also, another big thing that like irked me was when they're at the museum in the beginning and we see that skeleton of the Quetzalcoatlus.
Yeah,
It looked exactly like the one they were going to get the DNA from, and not like the one from Dominion, which is more paleontologically accurate.
yeah. Like it doesn't make sense why they would have the rebirth Quetzalcoatl, the skeleton, say that's the prehistoric one when the because again that retcons the Jurassic Dominion prologue because in the prologue the Quetzalcoatlus look the exact same as the Dominion one.
Although earlier today, I did actually come up with my own little theory about that.
Yeah,
What if it's a what if it's like a brand new subspecies that only exists in the Jurassic Park universe, you know?
for sure. Well, I mean, I hope that's the case because it would suck if they retcon it.
I know. I mean, to me, that would be a little more helpful in explaining why it looks different in the first place, you know?
Yeah, that's true, bro. Yeah,
Although,
because again, there's just too many things that don't
yeah,
add up in this movie. That's for
yeah, I
sure.
mean, if you wanted to pretend like that was an early InGen clone, like the one they get the DNA
Yeah,
from, I mean, that's one thing because that helps to explain why it looks so different from the ones we saw in Dominion.
for
But
sure.
seeing the skeleton of the Rebirth one in a museum and saying that's a prehistoric one, then
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
exactly.
I mean, maybe it's possible that Martin Krebs didn't know what the prehistoric one looked like, and maybe that was just the dead engine one that they used there, and he didn't know that.
Well, anything's possible at this point.
True. Now, again, Swerve did say one thing. So, like, we know that in Jurassic Rebirth, Martin Krebs was retconning, saying that the what's it called, the new Mosasaurus is the same one from Jurassic World. But again, Swerve was saying it in his recent video that he meant that the Rebirth one was in captivity before, but not Jurassic World. It was a captivity where the D-Rex was. So, if that was the case, that would make
Yeah,
sense, and that definitely would, you
watched
know,
that. I actually watched that video recently, and that does make sense for the new Mosasaurus.
for sure. Because I hope to God they wouldn't retcon the original Mosasaurus because man, that would suck. Because I love the original Mosasaurus. I wouldn't want it to get retconned. That would be absolute bullshit.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Definitely. But yeah, just but like whether it's a retcon or not, it's just the way this movie came off was just a big retcon. They don't mention anything at all from Dominion too, which sucks.
Yeah, I mean, other than like that opening crawl saying like, dinosaurs are not doing so well, and seeing that Apatosaurus. I mean, the Apatosaurus looks just like the one it has it been in the
Dominion.
previous three movies.
Yeah, see that's what I'm saying. The only parts that feel canon to the other movies in this particular movie is when they mention Alan Grant and when we see the exact same Apatosaurus from the previous trilogy, and then when they say dinosaurs are not doing well on the mainland. But like literally everything else but that feels like a retcon, which is very frustrating.
To be honest, I also kind of think dinosaurs surviving on the mainland is a bit of a retcon. I mean, not surviving is a bit of a retcon because
True, actually.
considering
Yeah.
that, you know, the Lockwood Estate incident, the events of Fallen Kingdom happened in 2018, and then we still see dinosaurs are like practically invasive by 2022 when Dominion takes place. I
Yeah.
mean, saying like it's environmental stuff to me isn't really making sense because, that's
True,
four
true.
years from Fallen Kingdom to Dominion, and then 5 years from Dominion to Rebirth. Like, why now are they suffering?
For sure. I mean, maybe it's possible it took a long time for this effect to take place on the dinosaurs, or maybe like the only explanations I have to that where that can hopefully take away the retcon is maybe it took a long time for the dinosaurs to start feeling the pain of the modern day climate. Either that, or maybe it's possible that the climate changed after the events of Dominion, and that's why dinosaurs were dying on the mainland. Because sometimes in the world the climate can change.
Right, but I wouldn't imagine it being that quick to change.
Yeah, that's true. Unless they can confirm the climate change quickly, then it feels like a retcon.
Agreed.
Which would suck. Because again, retcon. Me personally, I hate retcons, and so long for David kept keeping his word about that.
Right.
What a disappointment too. The fact they brought back someone original and they still can't make the movies amazing. Wow, you know,
Agreed.
for
I mean,
for sure.
also in a way, I mean, we see the Parasaurolophus carcass. I mean, other than like the front legs, it does look a lot like the one from Dominion, like with its colors. So,
True. So
you
yeah,
know,
maybe it's possible that was the one. That was one of the same ones from Dominion, possibly, or
I mean, the front feet like look different from the Dominion ones because like the ones from Dominion, like their front legs were kind of more hoof-like, whereas we see
true
fingers and hands like in the InGen Parasaurs.
for sure. Yeah, that did make sense when I did that
Plus,
for sure.
also except for the frill color, the Dilophosaurus looks a lot like its Dominion counterpart.
Yeah, that's true. It looks very similar, but it does suck that they only brought back the Velociraptor, what's it called the Dilophosaurus for a cameo, and it's too small again.
Yeah, that was one of my points for like dinosaurs only appearing for like not even 10
I know.
seconds. I mean, the Dilophosaurus was only there for like 10 seconds before getting scared off. And then don't forget, like near the end of the movie, we only get like not even 5 seconds of Ankylosaurus.
I know, right? It's very
Yeah,
disappointing.
I mean, I would have expected like seeing more of them on the island, just like how we had
Yeah,
two
like
scenes of them in Jurassic Park 3.
it almost feels like they only brought back certain dinosaurs in this movie just to say that like they're there. But like, come on.
Right?
Yeah, because like most dinosaurs that appear, they're just there for 2 seconds, just to I guess say that they're in the movie. You know,
For sure.
and the part that's disappointing, like I was hoping to see like a Velociraptor versus Dilophosaurus fight. That never happened. Like it was cool to see the Velociraptor versus Mutant fight. I know it's short, but again, like that part, it's not like that part didn't really frustrate me because I guess it was just a short fight because the Mutants are quite a bit stronger than the Velociraptors. What did
Hmm.
frustrate me though is that that was the only fight in the movie. I was hoping for at least 3, 4 fights.
Right?
A
I
minimum
mean,
of three.
and apparently there was going to be a final climax fight.
Wait, really?
Yeah, apparently, get this, brother. Like in the original script, and what Gareth Edwards originally had in mind was like the T Rex would come back to fight and kill off the D Rex.
Oh, T Rex would have killed the T Rex. Interesting. I wonder how that would have played out because the T Rex looks a lot stronger than the T Rex.
Well, keep in mind that the D Rex is like slow, looks bigger and is very much slower.
True.
Like the point is, apparently, like the special effects team in post production convinced him to like do a different ending because they said that a T Rex fight like at the end would be too predictable.
Oh, I guess. But personally, I wish that was kept in the movie because that would have been awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, I mean, really think about it. Jurassic Park 3 is like the only movie that does not involve T Rex in the climax.
True.
I mean, granted, it's not always a fight that it's involved in, because in Lost World, the T Rex didn't fight another dinosaur, but the buck ate Peter Ludlow. I mean, no, Junior killed Peter Ludlow, but the buck ate it in Peter Ludlow's demise.
for sure. Well, yeah, I
And
think
yeah,
this is the only movie where the T Rex invites something. That is true because in literally every other movie, the T Rex fought something. So this is the first time that didn't happen.
yep. I mean,
True,
technically, the T Rex didn't fight another dinosaur in the Lost World, but still, the T Rex was involved in the climax. Just
true.
like
Yeah,
how
oh yeah, that is true. Actually,
JP3, the T Rex only fought the Spinosaurus before getting killed off, so therefore he was not involved in the climax.
true. Actually, no, yeah. What I mean in terms of movies where the T Rex didn't fight anything, the only movies that was the case was I think it was the Lost World, and then also in the new movie. Because again, even in Fallen Kingdom, the T Rex fought two different Carnosaurus in one.
Right. I mean, but keep in mind that those really weren't fights. Like the T Rex easily
True.
won up the Carnos.
Yeah, I guess what I meant is that it still counts as like a fight, even though it's not a fair fight. The T Rex just straight up slaughtered it.
Well, yeah, but the point is, Rebirth doesn't have one because some of the team members said that it was too predictable.
Well, that's why I was hoping that we would have seen the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus fight the T Rex instead, because again, I don't think anyone would have predicted that.
Although, remember how those spoilers were going out, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But also, I was sincerely hoping we get more of Spinosaurus because, you know, excuse me,
Yeah, no,
they brought it back after 20 plus years, and they updated it to be more paleo accurate. But to be honest, it feels like a waste.
it does. Yeah, and the part that pisses me off again, first of all, I don't know why they brought back the Spinosaurus accurate, because again, number one, there never was an accurate Spinosaurus in the Jurassic franchise, and number two, it's not scary. The Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus is so much better because that Spinosaurus is terrifying.
Very, very.
Like, yeah, the fact that I waited 24 years for the Spinosaurus to come back and it comes back scientifically accurate, that's actually the reason why, that's my biggest disappointment with this movie, is that they bring back the Spinosaurus scientifically accurate when, we were hoping that the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus or a Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus design Spino would be in the movie instead.
Right?
So disappointing, man.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, because again, the accurate Spinosaurus, it's not scary. It looks like a duck, man.
I know, right?
What they should have done is brought back either the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus, being like the pack leader of the Acro Spinosauruses, or what they should have done is brought back not the Acro Spinosaurus or JP3 one, but they bring a new Spinosaurus that looks very similar to the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus with only a couple of minor differences. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, could have, should have, would have, but I do agree. Seeing the JP3 Spinosaurus was honestly something I was expecting almost.
I know, same year. So because I thought there was going to be an epic final battle, but I guess now we know why they had the Acro Spinosaurus and the D-Rex in the same movie. Because again, the D-Rex wasn't really a villain in this movie after all. It didn't fight anything.
Yep,
For sure.
it's a bummer, really.
It really is. So yeah, I wish there was more dinosaur fights in this movie. I wish there was more flashbacks in this movie. I wish there was no retcons in this movie. And I also wish that, it was the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus instead of the scientifically accurate Spinosaurus. Those are my biggest frustrations.
Yeah, remember how there was a Mattel toy listing for a Hero Spinosaurus?
Yeah, like what was the point of that if the Spinosaurus wasn't now I don't even get it. Why would they call the Spino the hero and the T-Rex the villain when they don't fight? Like
Right?
that makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect if it's called the Hero Spinosaurus, it was going to come in and, save them from the D-Rex and take it out.
I guess what happened. Maybe the people, maybe the Mattel workers, thought that was going to happen. They just predicted it, but they predicted wrong. Possibly either that or it's a deleted scene. Now it's one of those two.
So, A, it might be a deleted scene, or B, usually a lot of the time with toy companies, they get the full scoop of what's going on in the movie and they learn what happens so that way they can make the toys in time.
True.
I mean, it's pretty much the whole Sinoceratops Pachyrhinosaurus debacle that happened in Fallen Kingdom. Why it's a Fallen Kingdom toy, looks just like a Pachyrhinosaurus, but it's labeled as Sinoceratops due to the last minute change.
That's my theory. I think what's going on here is that they were considering Spino versus D-Rex in the movie, but then it was a last minute change to not happen,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
which would which would explain everything, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's still disappointing.
Now, for the next disappointment, here's where you're going to agree too. Remember they didn't just tease Spinosaurus versus D-Rex, but they also teased Spinosaurus versus Triceratops. That didn't happen either.
Yeah, I remember like there was like a shirt saying that it was gonna happen, but alas, no.
I know it's very disappointing, and also the fact that they teased I think it was Myosaurus, Carnotaurus,
And
Diabloceratops,
Diabloceratops.
and was there anything else they teased?
I think that's
Could have been a couple.
it for what they were teasing. But I think from what I understand, at least for Diabloceratops and Carnotaurus, I think those might appear.
Wait, sorry, say again. I lost connection there with you for a second.
Oh, I said that from what I've heard, Diabloceratops and Carnotaurus like will be appearing in deleted scenes.
Oh, okay. So, well, if that's the case. I mean, I hope that's true.
But I don't know if that means they're going to do like an extended edition of Jurassic World Rebirth, or
For sure.
if they're just going to be simple bonus features on the DVD and Blu-ray release.
For sure. Now, again, someone told me like Jurassic Rebirth doesn't suck just because it only had one fight and there's no final battle. Which again, they have a point, but at the same time, it's like why would they introduce this massive villain and then not have a fight anything at all? Like I just think that one dinosaur fight for these modern day movies doesn't make sense. There should have been at least 3 or 4 for a 2 hour and 15 minute movie.
Well, I know that the Jurassic World movies themselves had lots of dinosaur
Yeah,
fights, and that apparently, they were doing what they could with this movie to distance itself from the previous three.
yeah, that's fair. But dinosaur fights is what people love, though. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah. You know, I've honestly been thinking more about this since I saw it back on July 6th.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like um what Rebirth is doing is kind of like with Star Wars in a way, because it almost felt like the Force Awakens in that it was trying to harken back to the originals
right, right.
while trying not to be too firmly connected to the previous trilogy. Like when the Force Awakens came out in 2015, the same year Jurassic World came out, it felt like it was trying to emulate stuff that we were familiar with from the original Star Wars trilogy, rather than picking up from stuff that was from the prequel trilogy. So with
Yeah,
Rebirth, it almost feels like they're doing that, but with the
true, true,
first two
true.
Jurassic Park movies, plus Jurassic Park 3 to an extent,
Yeah.
but also trying not to be too connected to the previous trilogy.
True. And in a way, I both agree and disagree with that because, again, what I think they should have done is connecting it not just to the Jurassic Park movies, but also connecting it to like Camp Cretaceous, Chaos Theory, and the Jurassic World movies. That's what, like, for example, if I like in my films, Survival of the Fittest, that series I created with you, bro. Like, and a lot of people told me that they feel like it's a combination of like Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World, but that was the idea. I like for me, I think when you combine different movies into one, you get the best of both worlds with everything. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah, and I mean, now granted too, Jurassic World Rebirth, it's only come out a few years after the original Jurassic World trilogy, so unlike with The Force Awakens, that being like the first live action Star Wars movies in 10 years,
Yeah,
versus you know, we got like 3 years from Dominion to this,
true.
rather than 10 years from Revenge of the Sith to The Force
That's
Awakens.
very
So
true.
we
Yep,
so we definitely had so Star Wars had more time to like think about how they wanted to do their approach. Whereas
for
for
sure.
Rebirth, it's still I still stand by the fact that it feels like they want to harken back to the originals rather than the most recent ones.
That's true. Now, again, a couple other positives I can say about this movie is that again, the two Spinosaurus kills and then the Quetzalcoatlus kill and the D-Rex kill, those I have no complaints about. They were handled perfectly. I think they were terrifying
Oh yeah, yeah. I
for
mean,
sure.
watching that Quetzalcoatlus eat him, that was like I did not see that coming.
Yeah, same here. And then again, when the two Spinosaurus ate the 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 girl sailor and then the mercenary, that was cool too.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, when we see the D-Rexes, bite, freaking Martin Krebs' hat, and also when Martin Krebs' hand was still in the suitcase, that was a good callback to the Lost World Jurassic Park when his hand was on the remote control.
Oh yeah,
Similar, similar kind of style,
right.
True. Which again, since Martin Krebs was Parker Genis and he's the owner of that company, and then he's dead, that means the next movie. Okay, the only villain that was really killed in the final battle in this movie is again not the D-Rex, but again the Martin Krebs was. So the next movie it's going to be a new company, but my theory is maybe the D-Rex will be the villain again since it's still alive. Maybe that's why it's not killed off
Yeah,
in this
I
movie because
mean,
he's
yeah, with the T-Rex not being killed, it opens the door for more opportunities for it to come back.
for sure. Well, that's what I'm hoping. The D-Rex comes back in the next movie, and then maybe the next movie there's a final epic battle where it dies.
Could be. Or I remember, or I think it might have been Swerve or someone else who was saying so, but someone brought up a good point how at the end of the movie,
Yeah,
the Delgados bring Dolores the Aquelops with them.
yeah,
So I mean, why do that if um Dolores might die due to not being in the equator areas,
true.
Oh, which
That's for
also,
sure.
also I gotta say too, like that ending, like when they're on the boat and going into the sunrise or sunset with the dolphin pod.
Yeah,
It felt like it was from Jurassic Park 1, because remember when they're in the Jurassic Park helicopter and they're flying away and you see the pelicans flying by them?
yeah.
That's the
That was
vibe
a
I
great
got from
callback, actually,
it.
for sure. I got that vibe too. And also when we see the plane flying over the island and we hear the Jurassic Park music, and we hear the Jurassic Park music, that's a good callback to both Jurassic Park and also Jurassic Park 3,
Right, exactly.
for sure. Because again, to be fair, we haven't seen it like on Island Flyby with that dun da dun da music since Jurassic Park 3, to be honest,
Exactly. So it is nice to have that callback.
for sure. But yeah, like so something like okay, like what I was hoping for, like for the opening scenes after the D-Rex flashback, I was hoping that then the next part would be like a news report showing showing the events of Jurassic World Dominion and what happened after the events of Jurassic World Dominion and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have that be shown so kind of we get better ideas on what's going on with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, we got that. Jurassic World Dominion, we got that. Now I know in Jurassic World there was no news report showing what happened after Jurassic Park 3, but for that I'm not frustrated because again, it takes place 14 years later. So and that part I understand, but Rebirth only comes out 3 years later.
Right, I get what you're saying.
And, and like sure, I know it takes place 5 years later after Dominion, but still, like my point is, it comes out 3 years later. It only takes place 5 years later. That's not that much time at all.
Exactly. Yes.
So we should have gotten like a flashback to Jurassic World Dominion and also what happened throughout the time of Dominion to Rebirth.
Right.
Yep, and it would have been cool too if they talked about the like besides just talking about Alan. I was hoping they could have talked about Owen Grady, Claire Deering, and also Ellie Sattler and Ian Malcolm as well.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to know what's going on with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And something else that would have been cool too is what if we got more answers to like what happened to the other dinosaurs from the Jurassic Park and World era, to see like which ones are alive, which ones are not alive. Like imagine the news report showed, the ones that were dead and alive.
Right. I mean,
That would have been cool too.
I think super fans like you and I would really, really like to know like what happened to Rexy and what happened to Blue and Beta.
Yeah, like we all want to know like what happened to the original Spinosaurus, what happened to the original T-Rex, what happened to the Raptors, the original Mosasaurus, um the Demon Carnotaurus, the Battle Big Rock Allosaurus, and just all those original dinosaurs.
Yeah, like what happened to them.
Yeah, but either way, again, like overall, again, the movie is just extremely disappointing. Sure, it wasn't as hyped as much as Dominion, but still, but like I do think this movie is disappointing as just a random Jurassic Park film. It's more disappointing than Dominion, but in terms of being hyped more, that's where Dominion's more disappointing, obviously.
Right. Because I mean, when Dominion was like being announced and before trailers came out, I legitimately thought not only was it about like dinosaurs more living in our real world, but I thought it would have been about bison, like being the dominant people over InGen, and some of their animals were made to one up InGen. I mean, Dreadnoughtus being bigger than Brachiosaurus, Atrociraptors being more ferocious and deadly than Velociraptor, and of course,
True.
Giganotosaurus being the bigger, tougher dinosaur than T Rex.
Yeah, that's true. Now the only way the in my opinion, the only way they can make up for Jurassic Rebirth being such a very disappointing movie is in the next movie they have either the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus or that kind of design come back. They also have the D Rex having an epic final battle, and they also talk about more of like what happened after the events of Jurassic World Dominion and stuff. If they could do all the things they missed in the Rebirth sequel that they missed in Rebirth, then I think that would make up for what happened in Rebirth, if they can do that.
Yeah, I mean, the keyword is if, and I mean, granted, right now it seems Jurassic World Rebirth is like really doing well at the box office, so maybe that would convince Universal and David Koepp and Gareth Edwards to do another.
For
And
sure.
now that we know how it ends and the possibilities are endless.
For sure. Now, someone told me the reason why Rebirth was so bad is because Gareth Edwards did not have much freedom in this movie. He had to go by a script that was already made years ago. If that's the case, I can understand. So, but like, what I hope is that if that's true, I hope in the next movie after Rebirth, if he's directing it again, this time that he has full say what happens in Rebirth. I'm sorry, it's full say what happens in Jurassic 8
Yeah, that would be nice.
for sure. But I do wish, like, I do wish that the T Rex fought the D Rex. I wish we got to see Spinosaurus versus Triceratops because both those were probably at delete scenes now. I also wish that Carnotaurus and Dilophosaurus were there too. So I'm hoping if the delete scenes can show all this, then Rebirth would definitely be a much better movie.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's true. But the big question is, I wonder if there's any deleted concept art that's going to show like, the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus are originally going to be in the movie. Because again, we saw that for Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. So who's to say that they didn't have the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus planned before they scrapped that and got replaced with the accurate Spinosaurus? You never know.
Exactly. You never know.
True. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. Can you hear me?
Sorry, like you cut off for a sec.
Yeah, sorry, someone's calling me. But what I was trying to say is that unfortunately, it just seems that every time, after Jurassic Park 3, it just seems that the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus never makes the final cut for these live action movies, even after being so close to making it to the final cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, again, I know I can't guarantee this is the case, but I can almost, I basically almost can guarantee that he was planned to be in Rebirth, but then got replaced last minute with the Acro Spinosaurus.
Well, I mean, I know like the leaks are saying like something like the JP3 Spinosaurus was going to show up.
True.
So
So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and there's leaks, and also look what happened in Dominion and also Fallen Kingdom. He was supposed to be in there, but not there. So, my guess is that he was supposed to be in Rebirth, but the idea got scrapped because they wanted to go with the more accurate Spinosaurus for a change.
I guess
But it still sucks though, because again, it would have been much better to have the Jurassic Park 3 one because again, that feels more canon than the Acro one, and also um, now that we think about it, it's now we officially have three canon designs of the Spinosaurus and the Jurassic Park universe. We have the Jurassic World Rebirth one, we have the Jurassic World skeleton, and then the Jurassic Park 3 one because all three look quite different from each other.
yeah, that is true.
So here's my theory to this, so nothing gets retconned here. The Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus is the amalgamation. The one we see in Jurassic World is a gene splice Spinosaurus. Like, for example, it's like Spinosaurus mixed with like frog DNA and stuff
Hmm.
to make it look slightly different than the accurate one.
Hmm.
And then the Spinosaurus we see in Rebirth is a pure clone, Biosin.
Yeah, honestly, it would have been nice if Bison was mentioned in this movie.
Yeah, the fact that Biosin was like so involved with chaos theory and Dominion, and yet Biosin wasn't even acknowledged once in this movie. That's another reason why I'm pissed off because again that feels like a massive retcon. They should have at least mentioned Biosin at least once or more.
Right?
Yeah, because like, I do feel like that those new Mosasaurus and Spinosaurus were made by Biosin because they're scientifically accurate.
For sure. I mean, although the Mosasaurus, I do have a feeling that That wasn't like an InGen clone just because they said it was like from the facility there. Unless, of course, some of those InGen people were secretly biasing people.
Which again,
Because I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Maybe that was the case, because like I think the Mosasaurus we see in Jurassic World, that was an InGen Mosasaurus.
yeah, InGen slash Masrani.
True. Well, yeah, because again, Maserati was like basically what happened when John Hammond passed away. InGen became Maserati Global after that, right?
Like Masrani bought out InGen, and he named it as Masrani Global. I
Yeah,
mean, I mean,
that's what I
he
mean. Yeah,
already had his company, that is, but his company bought out InGen, so InGen was a subsidiary of Masrani.
so which makes me think because again, like this scene of the Deer's flashback, they say engine there, and it appears that Maserati had nothing to do with it. So what I think is happening is these engine people are like these bios people are disguised as engines, so they can get away with things. Because like when people see the word engine, they're probably used to that. So they're probably actually bios and clones, but they're pretending to be engine clones so they don't get arrested or something like that.
Not sure, honestly, but anything's possible with this.
For sure. Now speaking of the island, the island's called Isla What? It's a brand new island that we haven't seen before.
Yep,
I forget the name, but it's none of the five deaths.
yeah, it's like Iose Hubert,
Yes,
and it's
something
located in like the Gulf of Mexico, like in the Caribbean,
true. Which again, it is cool to see another island. Like that doesn't feel like a retcon at all because it makes sense that there's multiple islands throughout the world now.
right?
For sure.
But also, I
That's
mean,
true.
I do think it would be still more interesting to see like more dinosaurs back on the mainland, you know?
For sure.
Because I know like they were like with the Jurassic World trilogy, they were trying to do something different by like taking them off the island, see where they could go from there.
Yeah, that's true. Now, again, since we're making the spoiler review, let's talk about how both you and me would have made Rebirth better if we were like making this. So for me, I would have had the Jurassic World 3 Spinosaurus fighting the T-Rex for the final battle, and also having him be the Alpha Spinosaurus in the water with the Yacker ones. So those are the two things I would have done different there,
I
and
agree.
something else I would have done different. And then the last couple of things I would have done different too is I would have had the Dilophosaurus fully grown, and it would have had two scenes. One scene where it gets scared, the T Rex runs away. Another scene where it fights and kills a Velociraptor, and then the other Velociraptor scene I would have had was again the Velociraptor gets killed by the Muton. That's fine. Gets killed by what's it called again? The Dilophosaurus, and then I would have had the third scene. The third scene I would have had with Velociraptor is it's in the final scene hunting down the people, and then it's these mutons again, and then this new pack of raptors runs away before they get killed. Like if they could have done that three things with the Velociraptors, do you think that would have been much better?
I think so. I mean, I definitely felt the lack of Velociraptor in this movie, and was disappointed that that was the only scene it was in.
For sure. Like for me, I would have had more. I would have had a scene where it fights Dilophosaurus and gets killed, and then I would have had one more scene where it's in like the final scene. It kills a couple of humans, and then the seeds of mutons come back, and then this new pack runs away because they know they can't beat the mutons. Like
Mhm.
if they would have done this, that would have gave it a lot more screen time and better scenes too, right?
I agree, because I mean, why bother making a completely brand new like design for the Raptors? I mean, granted, the one that we see in the movie are like the ones from JP3, but still, like, why bother making brand new renders only for them to appear for like not even 10 seconds?
For sure. Now, something else I would have done for the final battle to give it a callback to Jurassic World, but not make it too similar, is I would have shown the mutons fighting the D-Rex, and then someone says we need more teeth, and then Duncan takes his flare and says I know just the thing. He goes into the swamps and lures the Jurassic World 3 Spinosaurus to fight the D-Rex, and then which gives them enough time to get off the island. And then what happens is the D-Rex is stronger than like the JP3 Spino, right? So what I would have done is that he knocks out the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus, but then the Rebirth T Rex comes in as well, and then what's it called? And then what's it called? Um, I would have had probably the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus team up with this Rex to kill the D Rex
Oh yeah, that would have been cool.
for sure. Now, the way I would have done this so it doesn't feel like plot armor, because we know the Spinosaurus from Jurassic 3 doesn't like T-Rexes, so what they could do is maybe like the D-Rex, takes down the Spinosaurus, it's about to kill it, but then the Rebirth T-Rex saves the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus, so maybe that would be the only way where the Spinosaurus would not kill a T-Rex if it saved his life kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they both work together to kill off the deers, and then they both are acquainted in alliance, and they go their separate ways.
Right. That would have been kind of cool.
For sure. That's what they should have done for the final battle. And now the other couple things I would have done different too. I would have shown like one of the acrid Spinosaurus getting killed by a Triceratops in a cool fight. That would have been cool too. Because again, that was
I
cut from
agree.
the movie. And then what else? What I would have done? Oh yeah, so something else I would have done different too. I would have had a news report showing the past with Jurassic World Dominion, and also what happened after Jurassic World Dominion, and then showing, the characters talking about the original cast and also the Jurassic World cast as well. So that way it doesn't feel like a retcon. And of course mentioning Biosyn too.
Yep.
In fact, I would have shown the Biosyn Valley too,
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to know like what happened to the dinosaurs in Bison Valley.
for sure. But man, yeah, this movie missed a lot. But what else? What else would you say? What would you add differently to this movie?
Well, I definitely would have had more callbacks to like say what Owen is up to and what Claire was up to, and of
Yep,
course like Grant and I mean, sure,
Ringo.
Henry Loomis mentions Dr. Grant, but knowing what happened to like Sattler and Malcolm would have been all right too.
So basically, you would have probably shown what happened to both the original Park and World cast, and also showed, post Dominion, and showing what happened to those dinosaurs after Dominion and stuff.
Right. Right. Also, I would have loved to have seen more about I would have loved to see more Ankylosaurus scenes.
Oh, yeah, same. Something else I would change too is I would have Carnotaurus and Dilophoceratops and also Triceratops in the movie, and not just there for just 5 seconds. And then Ankylosaurus and Apatosaurus would deserve more scenes too.
Right.
And also, I would have enjoyed seeing, a Parasaurolophus in this movie because, again, in fact, bro, if we think about this is the first movie we've seen where there's no, alive Parasaurolophus
Yeah, it would have been cool to see live parasaurs in this,
for sure.
but
Now,
I still
question:
count it as an appearance.
true, true? Yeah, I guess it still counts as an appearance, to be honest. Now, Triceratops, would you count the embryos as an appearance?
I guess so. But
True,
I mean, I would have loved to have seen like a live one.
true. But wait, question: is Jurassic World Rebirth the only Jurassic Park movie that doesn't have a live Triceratops and Parasaurolophus? I'm pretty sure, right?
I think that's, I think that's the case.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, all the other films did have even Jurassic 3. Sure, Jurassic 3 only had Triceratops when they're flying over it on the island, but it still counts as a live appearance.
It does. I mean, it's very, it's kind of like the same thing there. Like, they didn't need to like redesign the Triceratops only for it to be in the movie for not even 10 seconds.
I know that was definitely a big disappointment with Jurassic 3. That they have this totally new design for Triceratops, and it's only there from a distance. You know,
Yeah,
that's for sure.
exactly.
And then the the only other scene I would have had maybe with the Mosasaurus in this movie is I would have shown the original Mosasaurus in a flashback as well after Dominion to show that it's alive, and also I would have maybe shown this new Mosasaurus having a fight with the D-Rex. That would have been cool too.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But overall, again, this movie had some good, unfortunately more bad. But what else can you think of that we missed it, bro? Because I think we covered most things now.
Yeah, I think we did. Oh, actually, we got to. There's something we do need to talk about.
Yes,
Dolores.
what is it, bro? Let's go. Dolores, yeah, Dolores was really cute. I really liked seeing Dolores. That was a cool new dinosaur.
Yeah, she was adorable.
Yeah, for sure.
But my only question is, who's cuter, her or Bumpy or Smoothie?
I would say Smoothie's the cutest, to be honest.
Yeah, for me, it's hard to decide.
Sure, it's a hard one. For me, it's I don't know. It's either Smoothie or Dolores
Fair enough.
because they're both the smallest, right? So because Bumpy grew really fast.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
But for now, I would say Smoothie because again, when they put those cat ears on Smoothie, oh my god, it was so cute.
Right.
For sure. That's true.
Yep.
But overall, again, I know the more recent Jurassic films have been disappointing. But again, it's just unfortunately this one was even more disappointing than usual. That's why I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah, but what can you do?
Like some people are saying, the only reason why I'm disappointed is because the Jurassic World Live Spinosaurus was not in this movie. But I can definitely guarantee that's not true. That's not the only reason. I have a lot of reasons, which I've said in this video.
Yep.
But I would say that's probably like for me that is the biggest disappointment though, because I was looking forward to hopefully seeing our old friend on the big screen one last time at least.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
But again, since he was not in Jurassic Rebirth, I'm gonna be honest, bro. I've now officially lost all hope that he's ever gonna return to a live action movie. My only hope now is that he's gonna return to an animated show.
Well, I mean, we haven't seen any trailers or any other kinds of announcements for season 4 of Chaos Theory other than the initial announcement in that one picture, so
For
anything's
sure.
possible.
Yeah. Now, like, sure, it's possible. Like, sure, some people would say, "Oh, well, don't worry, the Jurassic Respawn source could appear in the next movie." I'm gonna be honest. This is movie number 4 with him not being in the movie. I think it's over. But what's your opinion, bro?
Yeah, I can't help but agree. I mean, it feels like at this point
Yeah, like that's something.
we're
At this point, he's not coming back. Now, I hope to God someone can prove me wrong. Trust me, I hope so. But for now, I'm going with these that we're never going to see both. Like not and not just we're never going to see the Jurassic World Spinosaurus. I don't think we're ever going to see a bipedal Spinosaurus design again because we know that we have these new Spinosaurus. They're accurate, and I think those are the only Spinosauruses we're gonna see now in future live action Jurassic films.
hmm that might
Unless
be,
they
but
decide to
still.
unless they decide to do prequels, which I sadly don't see that happening anytime soon.
Well, you never know. I mean, with how much money this movie's making, maybe it might convince them to like do something other than a sequel.
True. Well, like we know that the next like this movie this new era is getting another trilogy. I do think the trilogy will be sequels, but maybe after this new trilogy we can get a prequel trilogy.
Well, who knows?
That's true.
Anything's possible.
For sure. But overall, again, like, do you honestly think that the Jurassic 3 Spinosaurus will return in a live action Jurassic film, or probably not ever again?
Well, never say never, but I think the chances are unlikely at this point.
I agree. Like again, nothing's impossible, but again, it just seems that with every new movie coming out and he's not there, it just seems like the chances are getting lower and lower. So at this point, I'm gonna say it's impossible. I like no one at this point, bro. No one can convince me he's coming back unless we get like physical proof.
hmm
Now with the animated series, that's a different story. But I will say this though, if he's not gonna be in season 4 of Chaos Theory, and then they're gonna make another animated show after this, then I've officially lost all hope at him returning.
Yeah, but like I said, just anything's possible at this moment.
For season 4, you mean, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With that, I actually 100% agree. And the reason why I 100% agree with you on that is because we don't know that much about season 4. We have no posters, no teasers, no trailers. So me and you both know that, like, if he doesn't appear in the trailers or teasers or posters for season 4, then we can guarantee he's 99.9% chance not going to be there.
hmm
Because again, we know that every time he appeared in Camp Cretaceous, he was in the trailers.
Exactly.
And every time he wasn't in the trailer for Chaos Theory season 1, 2, and 3, he wasn't in those. So therefore, if he is in season 4, they're not going to hide it. I know that for a fact.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's the case with Spinosaurus all around. If it's going to show up, it appears in marketing and trailers.
That is true. Even with not just Jurassic 3, that just it means it for every single Spinosaurus because even in what's it called, Jurassic World, when we had the skeleton come back, that was in the trailers. And also when we have the accurate pure breed clone of the animal in Jurassic World Rebirth, we also have it appear in the trailers and marketing too. So like case in point, every time the Spinosaurus appears, it's in the trailers and posters, no matter it's live action or cartoon.
True, exactly.
And for them to break this pattern, I don't see them ever breaking this pattern anytime soon. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, why break it if it's, if it works,
True. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like every dinosaur that doesn't appear in the movies, sorry, in the trailers won't be in the movie. I'm just saying this is only specifically targeted towards Spinosaurus.
I knew what you meant, so I
True,
definitely
true. Yeah, because
think if Spinosaurus does appear in a trailer, then that or a poster, that definitely means it's going to show up.
for sure. But in terms of like other dinosaurs, there's plenty of other dinosaurs that were not in the trailers that were in the movie and show. That's for sure.
Yeah, like Arognathus and Ankylosaurus
Yep.
and
Also,
Apatosaurus.
for sure. And also Toro as well in season 2 of Camp Cretaceous.
True.
For sure. That is true. But what else did we not mention about Rebirth? Again, we talked about the positives and the negatives, even though there's a lot more negatives. I mean, for me, if I have to rate it again, like I did do my rating for the movies the other day. I'm gonna be honest. Again, Rebirth is my least favorite Jurassic film out of all 7.
Oh, you really would go that low with it?
Yeah, just because it just really didn't live up to the hype at all.
Fair enough. Since I recently did a binge watch of all the Jurassic movies, and since I recently did watch Rebirth, one of these days I
Yeah,
may have to do a ranking of the Jurassic movies.
true, true. But like in terms of where Rebirth is on the 7th on all 7 movies, is Rebirth like what is it? Is it your third favorite, your fourth, your second, your fifth?
Still hard to say. I mean, like I said, I do think it's a little better than Dominion.
True,
And now, don't get me wrong. No matter how I rank these movies, it doesn't mean I hate them at all.
true, true. I'm gonna be honest. So again, I know Dominion was very disappointing, but like I personally prefer Dominion more, and the only reason why is because again, at least Dominion doesn't feel like a retcon. It had some epic, amazing dinosaur fights. It also had quite a bit. It also had a lot of dinosaurs, and what else was better with Dominion? It had the original cast as well. So
Right?
now however, when it comes to like the story, and also having a scarier villain, and an island, that's where Rebirth is better.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, like again, the story definitely is better in Rebirth compared to Dominion.
Hmm.
But even though the story is better with Rebirth, when I look at Rebirth as a whole, and also look at Dominion as a whole, I currently think Dominion is better. However, I'm gonna be honest, I do think my ranking could change after the extended cut releases for Rebirth. So after we get the extended cut, if it shows maybe like 10 to 20 minutes or more footage of making the movie way better, it's possible then it might be better than Dominion then.
Well, hopefully. I mean, I really do hope that there is an extended version of Rebirth coming out.
I mean, I think we deserve one, especially after how disappointing it is.
True. So I know that the extended edition of Dominion improved the movie greatly, so hopefully the same can be done for Rebirth.
Yeah, if that happens, I think then there's a possibility it could be better than Rebirth for me, if that happens. But for now, until that happens, I think Dominion's better. If there's an extended cut for Rebirth, I'll give it a watch and then I'll give my opinion then.
Sounds good. I mean, I would do the same.
True, for sure. But either way, what else should we add to this video, bro? Like, can you think of anything we missed? Because I can't think of anything right now.
Yeah, I can't either. I think we covered it pretty well.
For sure. But again, overall, like, what was your out of all the major disappointments in this movie? What was your number one disappointment the most in this movie?
I think the number one disappointment would be how they handled the D-Rex and the lack of screen time on certain dinosaur species.
I 100% agree with that. That's my second most disappointment. My number one disappointment is either them replacing the JP3 Spinosaurus with the more accurate Spinosaurus, or them either that or the major retcon in this movie. It's one of those two for my number one.
Right?
Yeah, because me personally, I don't like the accurate Spinosaurus. Number one, number two, I also don't like retcons. I hate them actually. I can't stand them.
Understood.
Now, listen, in my opinion, bro, the only way I would like a retcon is if the retcon was fixing something that was bad. Like, let's say, for example, let's say they ruined the Jurassic World Spinosaurus in the past, but then they retcon that and then show them the way that me and you like him. If that's the case, that's the only way I would like a retcon. Like, if a retcon's gonna fix the past, then yes.
Understood.
But how about you? I guess the only way you look at retcon is that they're fixing a big mistake they caused in the past.
I suppose. I mean, I'd feel like they didn't need to retcon Maisie's story in Dominion.
True, true. Wait, so you want them to retcon Maisie's story?
I mean, remember they changed it from Fallen Kingdom to Dominion that Benjamin Lockwood had cloned Maisie, but it turned out that Charlotte Lockwood had cloned Maisie?
Oh yeah, true. So that was a retcon. Did you like that retcon or no?
Not entirely, because for one thing, it makes you question what officially made Hammond and Lockwood fall out.
Yeah, that is true. So like, if I had to pick it, if I had to give an opinion, I also don't like that retcon because now we don't know exactly why Hammond and John had a fight. You know.
Exactly.
True. Either way, guys, tell us what are all your thoughts on Rebirth? Was Rebirth your least favorite? Was your most favorite? Are you just as disappointed with the movie as me and David are? Do you wish there was more dinosaur fights? Do you wish there was less retcons? Do you wish there was more screen time with the dinosaurs? Let us know all your opinions in the comments down below. And bro, it was so great to have you again for this video.
Yeah, thanks again for inviting me on. It's always fun.
Before I end this video, I want to thank all my fans who continue to watch my YouTube videos and support me for many years now. I love all my fans who are also my best friends. You guys are the best. If you're new to my YouTube channel and are enjoying my content on YouTube, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you're alerted for my next video on YouTube. Leave a like and share this video with everyone and post a friendly comment. Also check out my Patreon for amazing deals I'm offering you guys, so you can not only support me, but you can get extra content. Each tier has a list of all the benefits you will get from each tier. I hope you guys can join one of my tiers. The link to my Patreon is in the description below, and follow me on Instagram as well for extra content there. And if you wish to support me even further, my PayPal donation link is in the description below. All donations are highly appreciated by me, and if you wish to buy STK merchandise, the link to my Teespring is also in the description below. So if you want cool STK merch, including hats, pants, shoes, water bottles, workout and sport equipment, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, sweaters, stickers, necklaces, mugs, glasses, tank tops, bags, desk mats, and possibly more options in the future, then be sure to check out my store for epic STK merchandise. Any merch bought from you guys will be highly appreciated by me. And until my next video, have a great day and take care, everyone.